plaything can you offer me today?
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Excuse me, sir, is this the Delta House? Sure. Come on in.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Welcome to Sheldon Cooper Presents Fun with Flags.
Am I the meanest?
Sure enough.
Am I the prettiest?
Sure enough.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town?
Sure enough.
Well, who am I?
Sure enough.
The Shogun of Harlem.
Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Yes, Captain Soundboard doesn't know how to run the soundboard.
Woo! What are you going to put on your resume? Dumbass.
Woo!
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Go!
The government is shut down, but we are not. This is the IT and the D Show, presented by DetroitNet.org, here live in the Raw Radio X studios in beautiful Russell Industrial Center in beautiful Midtown Detroit, Michigan. This is the IT and the D Show.
That was beautiful.
This is Bob the Sales Guy. As always, we are hosted with Dave the Geek, Jeff the Voice. I almost said it backwards. Jeff the Voice of Reason. And this is Bright episode 14.
Holy crap, we're still doing this. We are still doing this.
We are.
We're not shut down.
They're not. They shut down the oceans. They shut down the Grand Canyon. I found out they shut down Mount Rushmore, but they won't shut down us no matter what we do. This is episode 14.
No one look at Mount Rushmore.
You can't. No, they put cones up on the highway so you can't pull over and look at Mount Rushmore. I swear to God. You think I'm kidding? Google it.
Fact.
I thought we weren't going to talk about this.
We didn't. We're not.
We're not. Okay. this is not the show you're looking for.
No.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
You didn't hear it. You didn't hear that.
No, not at all. Should we keep the bell away from you?
It has begun.
Probably, because nothing good can come of Bob having access to the bell. Or him talking politics. Yeah, really nothing good can happen if we break out in politics. So we do. We've got April Jennings, we've got Elise Lopez, and we've got George Albert. Is that right?
George Albert Opitz.
Opitz. Okay, I was going with the Gmail address and the name that came through.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it comes up like that. Yeah, okay.
He's rebranding himself.
He's going through a name change. We're familiar with that.
Okay.
You know, when
we've had some experience with that.
Yeah, and I don't have any problems with anybody else trying to claim my name. So
lucky you. Yeah, and I almost just spilled out my beer.
You know what we were hoping for is we never had like a first initial name, last name person, and then when Brad was here,
Brad was here, yeah.
I didn't know you were. If I would have known you were M. Brad, I would have totally that's all I would have talked about.
Didn't you figure out we had another one that we weren't even paying attention to? There was M. Bradley Who's
right,
and there was, I don't know. All I can think of right now is J. Jonah Jameson right now.
G. Gordon Liddy.
Again with the politics. Come on.
L. Ron Hubbard. I don't know. There was.
What did Dave call you? Captain Illuminati?
Exactly.
Right. No, so I mean, there is. I mean, there's a lot going on. I mean, there is a shutdown going on that we can get into. It's not this building.
No, it's not this building.
For once,
life is good.
Yeah. But no, so Silk Road. I mean, that was the big like techie geek like hacker news that hit last week. Was that Silk Road got shut down? And Bob, you look completely lost and like you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Isn't that a movie from the 80s?
We know what's going on.
Yeah, no. So Silk Road was basically like the digital deep dark net underground, where like you could buy
the soft underbelly.
Well, no. So, I mean, you've heard of bitcoins.
Yeah.
So the whole Bitcoin market basically sprung up to support Silk Road, where you could go ahead and you could buy drugs and have them shipped to you. You could buy guns, weapons, anything else, and it was the complete and total darknet. And it was run on basically the Tor network, which was all anonymized and packet scrambled and all that fun happy hoo-ha.
Wasn't Mitnick talking about this earlier?
Yeah,
the NSA tracking the Tor network.
Well, and so, but the funny thing is so the only way they actually finally caught the guy that was running it was because he was a moron, and he actually posted something with his actual Gmail address. With
Wait,
his
so what did they do? Wait, hold on. You say they took it down. What did they do?
If you go to the Silk Road website, it now pops up a nice little banner that says, "Hi, this site is under the control of the FBI."
Awesome.
Thanks for your IP address.
But that's I don't get. I mean, obviously I know what bitcoins are, and I've read up on it. I still don't get how that works. Like, you buy them for dollars, and they trade it almost like a stock,
right?
Where they
it's virtual currency.
It's right, but how does it appreciates as it would if you're trading on the Forex? I still don't get how. Then how do you sell them once you obtain them? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It doesn't make it makes zero sense.
It's like any other fiat money. It only has value if somebody says it has value.
True. Yeah, that's what they said. Buy gold because paper's worthless.
What's that signed jersey worth? Whatever someone will pay for.
Exactly.
I remember.
Never mind the coffee stain on the front.
Everyone was saying buy metals. I don't mean to go off on a side note, but
But that's what we do. So.
Right.
Yeah, it's already 10
But if you look at gold and silver, they've dropped back to like 09 levels. Gold took a huge hit.
Which is contrary to every single commercial you've seen for the last 2 years.
Buy gold, buy gold. Right. All those little stores popped everywhere, now they're all out of business.
Yeah, who is it that does those little collector plates that, we don't guarantee they go up in value, but all the others have. So buy your Star Wars commemorative plates
That's
now.
right.
Over there.
I was going to talk about the Princess Diana plates. Like what?
The what?
HS Home Shopping Network. They do plates.
Right.
I'm convinced you could have a styrofoam cup with a crayon in it, and you could sell it for $10 if you called it like a magical styrofoam cup, and people like in Idaho at 4 a.m. drunk or high would like, I gotta have that cup.
Dude, don't lose us, Idaho listeners.
Oh, did I say Idaho?
Right. If you got a heart like rag on Wisconsin.
Wyoming.
We don't have any. Wyoming.
No,
We don't have
Wyoming.
anybody there.
No, to fill everybody in, we have listeners in 48 states. The last two left are Wyoming and Alaska. So, hey, forgot to take care of business. What's the number to call in if you want to heckle us?
Yeah, that's right. The number if you want to call in and completely interrupt us and throw us off base is
Because, that wouldn't be, out of the ordinary whatsoever.
Right. Unless your name is Tad. Tad, you are not allowed to call into the show ever again. That number is 313-462-0107.
And we are at Twitter at IT and the D.
And also Facebook / IT and the D.
I guess we should be monitoring that stuff, right?
We are. I actually have it up right now. And Erica was just saying something nice about us.
Oh, excellent. Oh, thank you very much, Erica.
And that's, when you brought up Silk Road, I thought you were going to talk about it. The one I knew about was Adobe getting just completely slayed.
Their entire server network got hacked.
Oh, well, yeah, which is
I was
awesome.
one of the victims of that.
Yeah, that's awesome for their entire cloud delivery model, which is fantastic because I'm loving the fact that more and more over the past couple days I've been seeing the promoted and sponsored ads for hey, here's your 30-day free trial for the Adobe Cloud Delivery System, and I'm like, really, really, you're still running those right now?
Well, I think like that $50 I give Adobe every month for my Photoshop subscription doesn't seem like a good idea anymore. Why can't I just buy it? Damn it! Now I got to subscribe to it and get hacked. Thanks a lot, Adobe.
Right. Well, no, so, I mean, that was the big thing that we were yakking about in the LinkedIn group last week was that Adobe got taken out.
Does anyone pay $7 for personal licenses or corporate only? It's like Rosetta Stone. It's like, no, I don't want to pay $700 for software.
All these companies are going subscription model now. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can't actually buy a license anymore.
So it's gone gaming. Like you can't
if you go to Adobe, you can't buy Photoshop anymore.
One of my favorite games.
Subscribe to it.
Oh my god! One of my favorite games is Empire Online, and you can't just play the game. You have to it's got to be hooked up to the internet. You got to download all the updates.
Exactly.
Speaking of Grand Theft Auto,
and it won't work.
Which we weren't.
No. I brought it up. Grand Theft Auto. Have you been following? What's going on online?
Let me go with no.
The Rockstar servers.
Cool story, bro.
For those at home, that's the slow clap.
The servers, it's like the most volatile server environment known to man. And so if you hit retry when the servers won't come up, you basically deleted your character. So these guys that have been on there for
so this is a modern equivalent of like a D&D character getting killed off.
Yeah, could you imagine 80s? You have a demigod and it just gets gone.
So burned. Rockstar, that's where all of the Rock Band and all that fun happy hoo-ha was going on. That's what they're doing now.
Yeah, I mean seriously, go look up like the stuff going on with their server.
I probably won't.
No, you won't. But
we won't.
Thank God I never started online. I completed
to dust off my D&D book first.
When you hit retry, do you get the option to save versus roll 12 or better to save versus douchebaggery? Or no?
No, I just completed the story mode, so I was going to go play online. And luckily, I only got to level 4, and I started reading up on it
and realized that bad things were happening.
Good story, Bob.
Yeah,
Cast a level 4 charm spell upon my heart.
Oh,
someone goes to the Renaissance Festival.
I was just gonna say our guests are actually asleep right now, but
Well, no, but I mean, and that's one of the things we were yakking about, and so I always have my freak out of the week. There was the brain-eating amoeba that was tweaking me out for a little while, and I'm perfectly okay with that. But so, in case you missed the memo, the Koreans have built themselves Terminators. They're little robots that are specifically designed to have recognition software, and they go out and, for now, they go out and they kill jellyfish. Because they're having problems with like jellyfish swarms. And yeah, exactly. For now, they kill jellyfish, and it's just it's one of those things where you got to sit back and just wonder.
Tomorrow, it's never mind. I was going to go.
Well, what was the university?
Yeah, exactly. Is it North Korea or South Korea, and are they targeting the other? Yeah.
Which university had that robot that could gallop 60 miles an hour now, like a cheetah?
I can't remember, but yeah, no, I remember. I just read that.
All they need to do now is put like stun guns on the front of that thing, and we're done. You have a robot that can outrun you. It's
like Planet of the Apes, man, with robots.
Well, no, it'd be the what was the dumb first edition of RoboCop? You have 10 seconds to put down the weapon.
Oh, yeah. It's going to hit me during the break. It's going to drive me crazy.
Of course. Well, you're Captain RoboCop. What's your problem?
God, what? I keep wanting to say like the TED 4000, but it's not even close.
Ed 9000.
Was it Ed 9000 or was that that was RoboCop 3? I think.
Yeah, okay. Oh, RoboCop 2.
Who knows?
Whatever.
But I mean, just on the random security note, I mean, the other fun one that hit today was the little 9-year-old runaway from Minnesota that apparently hopped a plane in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah, just walked onto a plane without walk right through TSA.
No ID, no ticket, no anything.
They blame that on the shutdown.
Oh my God,
too.
they pulled a Home Alone.
Oh, absolutely.
But on his own.
But reverse.
Yeah,
yeah. He
right.
wasn't. Yeah, he actually hopped on the plane, made it to Vegas, and apparently some stewardess finally went, "Hey, kid, do you have anybody with you?"
Well, and apparently this isn't his first attempt. Like he's tried to get on the plane before.
Yeah, he was hanging out.
Tell me, they're looking into his parents, please. There's something.
Well, I'm
really
waiting for this to be like a Jimmy Kimmel, scam type of thing again.
Well, no, he was apparently hanging out at the airport for the better part. Like he hung out at the airport the entire day before.
Ed, that's what I knew it was Ed something.
So,
Yeah.
the security cameras caught him.
Right?
He was
close.
It was at X Detroit. Right. He was hanging out. So he was hanging out at the airport for like the entire day beforehand, and apparently, what he was like his little scam that he was testing stuff. He was going down to baggage. Well, he was going down to baggage claim and grabbing random bags, and then wandering over to a cafe, sitting there for a little while.
How old is this kid?
Reaching onto a family or something.
Gretchen's age.
Yeah, and then apparently, and then he'd say, "Hey, I'm going to be back in a second," to some waitress or whatever, and then walk off and just abandon the bag there.
Well, and hopefully he doesn't get really lost because there's no Amber Alert, right? Is that what we decided?
This sounds too close. I'm sorry, this sounds too fishy. If he's knowingly going down to baggage claim, going to a cafe and leaving it there, that's got to be some sort of.
Well, it's him trying to figure out how he's going to get through.
How do you get through security? I fly all the time,
dude. I figured out. I probably shouldn't.
If I walk away from,
but you still have to have a ticket, and they ask.
If I walk away from my bag at a TGI Fridays at Metro Airport or whatever it is, I'm going to get flagged. Hey, you left your bag.
Yeah, I mean,
when a 9-year-old do that?
When I took the kids to Florida this summer, the TSA guy was like, "Hey, what's your name? Who are these two people to you? Where are you going?"
Right.
I mean, it couldn't have been more thorough with my kids as to.
Well, you kind of look suspicious.
I do. I was wearing lederhosen, that's why.
Well, you wear them 24/7. I mean, it is Oktoberfest.
It's manly. It's suede pants. What's wrong with it?
Wow. Again, I don't know how to recover. Yes.
It should be interesting, though, to see what this 9-year-old can get away with when he becomes an adult. If he can get on a plane and fly to another state.
All right. So clearly, yeah, exactly. So you followed up on the story. So they caught the guy, or no, they didn't catch the guy, but they
caught the kid. Well, I mean, they finally figured it out when they were getting ready to land in Vegas, and one of the steward or flight attendants, said, "Hey, kid, you're not like in our." The unaccompanied minor program. Nobody's assigned you. Where are your parents? And he tried to BS his way out of it, and no. Then they finally figured it out, and shipped him back to Minneapolis.
What a cool kid, though. Where do you want to go? Vegas.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, the kid's just he's trying to get a starring role in The Hangover Part 4.
Phoenix? No, I'm going to Vegas, baby.
I want to meet this kid.
Now, when he's 22, he's going to be hell. I want to party with him when I'm like 54.
No, he's going to be the next Kevin McNey. He's going to be locked up, or he's going to be hired by the NSA or the TSA.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, it's going to be like
hire that kid for crying out loud.
Yeah. That kid from Catch Me If You Can, Frank Abagnale, didn't the FBI hire him? To
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He still works
That's
for
what
them.
I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right.
Frank Abagnale.
Yeah, that's the type of people they need to figure out these exploits.
Those those movies are great because it teaches you if you're going to be really bad at something, be so bad that you get hired by the government.
That's right. Be really, really good at being really,
Find
really
all
bad.
their flaws, and then.
Well, but I mean, you look at DEF CON and all the hacker conferences and all that kind of stuff. The government agencies go there looking to hire people.
yeah.
That's part of the fun.
You can break our systems. Oh, we want you to hire you to beat everyone else.
Yeah, white hat hackers.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's the entire point behind it. I mean, it's looking for skill and security.
You know what I heard this weekend? Someone actually got. Who was telling
Does
the
this
story?
have to do with Grand Theft Auto 5 again? Because
Who told the story where their corporate was Charles telling me that one of his employees got hit with the encryption. They completely locked down and said for $300 you can have your computer back, and it's
his
locked
own.
down.
Wait, his own personal computer?
No. Someone that works for him. Their work laptop got hit with whatever virus that the Russian mafia, and I heard it existed, but I never knew anything got popped by it. And he said, yeah, for $300 you can have your machine back, or I don't know what the ransom was.
Here's an idea: unplug it from the network and reformat the hard drive. You're done.
Yeah, rely on last backup. Yeah,
right.
Well, but I mean, that's the big scam that was going around was basically they'd have hot 19, 20-year-old chicks get guys on Skype and get them to do things that you do on Skype with
then you say I'm going to put it on Facebook.
Exactly,
$1,000.
So that was the big blackmail scheme that was going on for the long. It wasn't
Twitter the duck face.
Well, no, wasn't it just one of the Miss America women that just came out that happened to her? That they tracked the guy down in California.
Right, yeah. No, that was the guy, the 17-year-old
that hacked her laptop,
hacking all of the Miss America pageant contestants, turning all their laptops into drones and filming them in their dressing
basically
rooms.
turning on all their webcams.
So they didn't know that their webcams were on?
No,
that was the thing with
and you can actually, how a lot of your laptops, the little light will come on. You can actually hack that to turn the light off and have the camera still be on.
Oh my god, that's so creepy. Everyone should put a
masking tape.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
April's throwing duct tape over everything.
Wasn't there a high school or university where they tapped in? They issued laptops and they
there was because under the guise of we're just trying to make sure that we know where the laptops are.
Oh, right, yeah. They were actually filming everyone at home.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Well, but I mean, in that same vein, I mean, one of the things that's coming out, with granted, there's all the, LGBT community that's all twerked off over, Russia hosting the Olympics.
Why?
Because they're anti-gay, and basically being gay is still a crime punishable by death over there. But
they're going to track everything, are they?
Well, so one of the things that came out today is, it's SORM. Basically, they've jacked up their network so hard and heavy. We got a call coming in. I'll get to you in just a second. They're basically
go to voicemail. Hit it.
There is no voicemail on this.
Never mind.
It's going to go to voicemail.
We are voicemail.
Yeah, so, but I mean, they said it's basically Prism on steroids. There is no electronic communication that will go on anywhere within 10 square miles of that Olympic Village that they will not be recording, monitoring, diving into, and all that fun stuff. All right, so let's see who this is. Who we got?
IT and the D, you're on the air.
Well, hi, this is Russ.
Oh, Russ! Oh my gosh, what's going on, buddy?
Actually, at this moment, I am sitting in glorious Columbia, South Carolina, outside with a rifle across my lap, getting bitten by mosquitoes.
Isn't that what everybody in South Carolina is doing right now?
Right, exactly.
I saw your epic breakfast on Facebook. That's all you post now. Is
Can we give a backstory for people listening on what's going on here?
Yeah, so for what it's worth, Russ Dotson is actually a recruiter that's been involved with our group for a number of years, most recently with Brightwing. Russ is the guy who a couple years ago, when we were looking to do something cool with our December event, we decided that Toys for Tots was just way too uncoordinated and crazy to deal with, and we were kind of standing around, complaining and bitching about it one day. And Russ came up and said, "Hey, I hope you don't mind or think I'm overstepping, but I still know guys that are boots on ground over in Afghanistan. What if we do something?"
I didn't say anything about being worried about overstepping. I don't care about overstepping.
Yeah, he definitely does not.
Not anymore, you don't. But back then, you were still being cautious and polite.
We miss you, Russ.
Miss you,
No,
Russ.
so I mean, it was so we did. I mean,
you to overstep when you have a gun in your hand.
Right. No, so I mean, the first support the troops thing we did, back 2 years ago, was over the top successful at Dragonmead. That was the one where I got the crap slapped out of me by a little 5-foot-tall Navy girl and filmed and thrown on YouTube. That was just awesome.
And switched to the homepage.
Yeah, exactly.
It still exists somewhere.
It still does. No, trust me, my wife still plays it on our 65-inch TV whenever family comes over. I assure you.
Beautiful.
So, Ross, give us an update, buddy. What's going on?
Well, yeah, so Russ is actually back now, getting deployed out again.
Yeah, actually, they've changed my location repeatedly. First, it was Tanzania. Then it was
which I'm so mad we don't get to make Tasmanian devil jokes anymore.
Then it was Uganda for a minute, and now, for the moment, it's back to Ethiopia. I actually received my diplomatic passport in the mail.
Oh, nothing. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Russ has diplomatic immunity. That's a great idea.
I'm so jealous. What could possibly go wrong? That's one of my Facebook interests. Ultimately, is to get diplomatic immunity.
In Ethiopia?
No, just anywhere in the United States.
And then a drive in Cannonball Run. That would be mine.
Yeah, exactly.
With a rifle across your chest.
Yeah. Tomorrow, I'm actually the reason we have.
I want an orangutan driving.
Tomorrow we have to. We're shooting machine guns tomorrow.
Oh. Excellent.
So there will be video. Yeah.
Take pics.
Yes. Will you be?
It's kind of hard. They frown on that, but I will try to take pictures and send them to you. You've got plenty of pictures. We won't
post them, but we'll just we'll look at them. We won't post.
Okay, now who do you have in the studio there, Mr. Phillips?
We have April and Elise, and we also have George. Albert.
Hey, George.
George. Hey, Ross. How you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you?
Good. Wonderful. Saw your picture on Facebook here after your 14 days out in the field.
Yeah, it's glorious, sir.
14 hours, yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful out here. It's hot, and today when I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, it was 78 degrees.
And you had an epic breakfast. Breakfast.
Yeah, what's an epic Navy breakfast?
Yes.
Well, this is not a Navy breakfast. This is an Army breakfast. We eat in something called a DFAC, which is because we can't say dining facility or mess hall. We say DFAC.
My dad was a cook in the Army, and he was the king of making SOS. That was his favorite. And he still makes a killer one today.
Oh, I love SOS.
I wish they had SOS.
I love that.
These soulless bastards have turkey bacon.
What? Oh. Don't even get me started on turkey bacon.
You know what? They have turkey bacon. Turkey bacon is not bacon.
Did they take the God out of God and Country? How did that happen?
I swear to God.
Wait, is that because of the shutdown?
And the best part about being here, we're on a small. Army bases are mammoth. They're like hundreds of square miles, and we're in a small camp inside this Army base, fenced in because they don't want us to get out. And right next door to us, inside of our fence, is a little reform school boot camp thing. So there's a bunch of high school kids.
So you get along well.
Oh, that's outstanding, sir. Are you do you get to mess with them or?
Oh no! I don't let anybody come within 100 yards of them.
Okay.
That's nothing but bad.
Those are the best movies in the 80s, Reform School Girls.
But here's the best part about this world. In this world, everybody does exactly what I tell them to do, exactly when I tell them to do it.
Are you telling us that we didn't do exactly?
He's never coming back. He's never coming back.
We're just messing.
Yeah, that doesn't happen anywhere else.
Oh yeah, he's made that point more than once that he misses military life because people actually obey him there.
Yes, they do. They do that. But I miss you guys. It's been a long time since I've seen you. I miss you, George, April, Elise. I miss everybody from work, and you guys too.
Yeah, you want to
miss you, George. But we always ask you questions. You say something, and we're always like, really? And we investigate further, and then you get mad.
No. You have to understand. You need to watch David. Show them the stupid shit civilians say video.
Oh, we saw some of this.
Yes. Yeah, what was the best one I got from anybody at Brightwing was, oh my God, what if you die? Like, well, thanks. I'll try not to.
Well, we're waiting for you to come back, Ross.
No, I should be back. I'm still scheduled to be back in September, so it should be
awesome.
Everything should be awesome.
Be safe, okay?
Yeah,
absolutely, George.
Yeah, likewise. Be safe.
Always safe. Hi, Bob. Hi, Dave.
What up?
Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Ross.
Thank you for serving our country.
Yeah, man. Thank you for your service. Seriously.
Oh, of course. Thank you very much.
And we are. I mean, even with you gone, we are still doing the December event, the whole support the troops thing. Logistics might be a little bit more difficult, but we'll figure it out.
We'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We'll make it happen.
So you have the opportunity to make a wish list, and we'll send it to Ethiopia.
That's right.
It's Ethiopia. Well, I tell you what I did is the first thing I did when I got here is I did my laundry, and I washed my freaking iPod.
Are you serious? Really? Come on.
Yeah. That iPod's been with me in Iraq twice and Afghanistan, so it was man down. We had a little burial.
Oh dear Lord!
Well,
Nice.
I'm sure we'll find 15 more of them and come December.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
So when do you actually? I mean, do you know, or do you know? Can you say when are you actually heading overseas? Like, how long are you in the wild and woolly world of South Carolina?
I actually got my flight itinerary yesterday. I leave here on Sunday, the 13th, at 10 o'clock in the morning from whatever podunk airport these rednecks have. And I fly to Frankfurt, Germany, where I sit for 20 hours, and then I fly to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, and see if I can make it through customs with my diplomatic passport.
I'm sorry, where in Ethiopia? Was that honest to God Ethiopia? What was the?
we'll just go with that.
Addis Ababa, I got you.
So what?
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So what part of the government shutdown doesn't affect you? I don't
the
get
part
it.
that shoots
What are we
bullets.
doing in Ethiopia?
In Ethiopia, I will be doing a lot of liaisoning with the Ethiopian military and their navy, helping them chase down and kill pirates.
Arr.
Arr. But no, there's actually the only effects that we've had from the shutdown here is on our little tiny compound. There's a little tiny post exchange, and they're closed.
They're closed.
So you can't buy
turkey bacon and no exchange.
That's right, turkey bacon and no PX.
And you can't buy gum and milk.
Well, it is a bit of a problem because, if one wanted to buy, some soap.
Oh
no!
Do you need soap, Ross?
So
I can send you a parcel.
we've had to send some scouting teams out to other places to
forage for soap.
We need to send Russ a care package.
Right. I gotcha.
Baby
you
wipes.
can't actually send me one here. We don't get mail here.
How can you not get mail?
The government
Because the government
We don't
shut
get mail.
The post office is not run by the government.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
No, it is not.
It's in the Constitution.
No, we're not. We're not actually here long enough. I mean, normally people are here for 2.5 weeks, so it's not long enough for us to ever really get anything. So they won't even tell us the address.
Yeah, why bother?
I'm sure there's 7-Elevens and Starbucks on every other corner. You'll be fine.
It is South Carolina.
I wish
No,
there was, but
Ethiopia,
there
I'm talking
absolutely is no place
It's
to
more.
buy
It's
anything
probably more
here.
like
And
Jed's
just
Bait
turkey
Shack and
bacon.
convenience store would be my guess.
Convenience store.
Or
No, it's actually
in Russ's
this looks
case,
like a
an
World War
inconvenience
II
store.
internment camp.
Right. Nice.
Oh.
It's an army base. They're not very, they don't have a lot of creature comforts.
Nice.
In the Navy, we tend to go to war in air-conditioned comfort, but the Army doesn't do it like that.
The Navy does the concierge level war.
Yes, yeah.
Filtered air for
Absolutely.
all.
The Lido deck, if
we
you
don't-
will.
But we do have, they are letting me shoot machine guns, so...
Oh, so it's all good.
Nice.
Exactly. It all balances out in the
That's
end.
hey,
You can't beat that.
no.
No, it's too much. It's way too much fun.
All right. Well, hey, I know you got
David,
to.
did you actually tell somebody that I was a stable-minded person?
Oh, there's a whole sidebar conversation we can have there, man.
Okay.
Because I know exactly where you're going. Yeah, we can chat.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, hey, I know you got to wake up early, man. You want to anything you want to get out before we take off?
No, just nice to talk to you guys, and I promise I will call you. Oh, the other thing they're giving me is a international iPhone, so I won't have any problem calling you guys.
Don't wash that one.
Yeah.
So hey,
wait,
thanks for your tax dollars at work. Thanks for the international iPhone and
the diplomatic passport. What can possibly go
and
wrong?
the diplomatic passport. We appreciate that, and I will try not to get us, declared persona non grata.
Every 250 minutes, you got to throw the phone away and get a new one.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you saying you're going to call into the IT and the D show from Ethiopia?
Oh, that's the game plan.
I will. And actually, I'm going to change my my LinkedIn status to being in Ethiopia, so you can knock Africa, the continent of Africa, off your list.
There's an Ethiopian restaurant in
Toledo.
No, yeah, in Toledo, in where Sapino's is, right next door. We should go there, just because.
Star of Ethiopia?
Is Ethiopia
Yes.
spicy?
Yeah.
I don't know Ethiopian food.
This conversation kind of went
dung beetles.
Yeah.
As Billy Crystal would say, they have food in Ethiopia.
We are up on a break. This is the IT and the Deal. Thanks, Russ,
All right,
for
take
calling
care,
in.
man.
Thanks, Russ.
Best of luck with everything. Godspeed, and
see you soon, Russ.
miss
Be
you,
good.
man.
Be safe.
we'll be right
Bye,
back.
Russ.
All right. You all take care. Bye, Elise. You're my favorite.
What?
He says
Bye,
that
be
to
safe.
everyone.
Be safe.
This is the IT and the D Show.
We'll be right back.
You like rap music?
Yeah, I like that.
You like rap music? Well, turn around real slow then. I'm from the Rap Coalition of America. Take that gun off and throw it over there. Throw the gun over there. If you like rap music so much, how come you ain't smiling?
I'm smiling.
Smile real big.
I'm smiling.
Now let's do a rap together.
Go ahead.
Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo.
Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo.
Say ow.
Yeah, ow.
Yo, Chuck, these honey drippers are still front on us. Show them that we can do this, cause we always do this. Yeah, boy.
Bass. How low can you go? Death row. What a brother know. Once again, back is the incredible.
Right, just treat me right. Peace.
General Kala, Flash Gordon approaching.
What do you mean? Flash Gordon approaching.
On a Hawkman rocket cycle. Shall I inform His Majesty?
Imbecile! The Emperor would shoot you for interrupting his wedding with this news. Fire when Gordon's in range.
We're back at that. You know what? I must not have pissed Dave off this week. He's running 80s and 90s rap and Flash Gordon drops. It's like he must, like, just so I don't, like, please, Bob, don't rag on me after the breaks this time. Here's your favorite ever. We are back, the IT and the D Show, Raw Radio X Studios, presented by DetroitNet.org. If you want to give the number out once again.
Yeah, so again, we're at 313-462-0107.
We also on Twitter at IT and the D. Today is episode 14. I can't believe
we're still doing this.
They haven't kicked us out yet. We are joined by our gracious hosts, the girls from Brightwing.
Thanks for having us.
And we're
joined by the what? Never mind.
Our gracious hosts.
They're not. No, they were our gracious sponsors for our 919,
which allows us to host this stuff like this.
Hey, you're the host. We're the sponsors.
We're good.
And we got El Jefe, Mr. George from Brightwing as well. Glad the president,
Our fearless leader.
The big cheese.
The training wheels really came off.
Our fearless leader,
What do you want me to
George
call it? The big
Albert
cheese?
Opens.
I like the big cheese. You can change your business card to that, George.
Can we start over?
Soon.
Can we duct tape Bob's mouth
Soon.
shut?
When will then be
When
now?
will then be now?
We're marketing. We can make that happen.
Okay.
What's the number?
313-462-0107. Why are you going to try to call in, Elise?
Yeah, she wants to call in.
Elise, you're actually sitting next to me. You don't need to call
No,
in.
I'm texting someone the number.
Oh, nice.
I don't think they will. I'm not sure if they will, but they may.
No, so I mean, we just had Russ, call in, who's with Brightwing. Temporarily not. While he gets sent overseas.
Temporarily holding a M16.
Yeah, hopefully you don't let
He's
him walk
recruiting
around
in Ethiopia.
Yeah, hopefully you don't let him walk around with machine guns in the office.
Well,
That was one of the restrictions we had. It was
Gotta turn back
when he
around.
interviewed. He asked about that.
What's your position on machine gunnery in the office? So I mean,
Positive.
so Brightwing. I mean, you guys, April and Elise, you've been in here with us before.
Yeah, it's always a good time.
Yep. So talk about Brightwing. I mean, obviously you guys are a recruiting company. Why is Brightwing different from any other recruiting company that's out there floating around? And then we'll dive a little more after that.
Go ahead, George.
who's going to field this?
Oh, it's on me.
Who's going to field this one?
Isn't this why I hired marketing people?
I know. If you put two marketing people with the president, no one knows who's going to answer.
They promised me this wouldn't happen. Okay.
Your mic is live.
Yeah, but is it working? It
is.
So I'm on. All right. We're just. I think what makes us different is we're very passionate about what we do. What are the Slim Jims? You're distracting. I'm easily distracted. They're
If
playing
it wasn't the Russell
not a paper
paper
bag.
bag.
They're playing with
No one
somebody
knows.
very
We
confusing.
have no
to me.
idea how we're not sponsored by
Yeah,
PBR and Slim Jim yet. We really don't. Would you like one,
What did
George?
Anyway.
No, he was in the middle of answering your question.
I'm working on the PBR. I'm trying to figure out how to answer the question as you guys are having a ruckus down there at the end of the table. So it's just,
could you describe the ruckus?
God.
How many references were there?
All right, Brightwing, go.
Brightwing, on Brightwing.
Let's start with the basics. So Brightwing's been around since?
Been in business for 40 years.
This is our 40th year. It's our big
Very cool.
anniversary year. We're pretty excited.
We should have invited you to our birthday party.
I was going to say, yeah, we turned 40 this year.
Oh, happy birthday.
So what did you do in 73?
What did I do in 73?
No, I mean the company.
Do I look that old?
No.
Okay, right.
What did what did it originate as? I didn't mean it as a.
He inherited the company from his grandfather, Bob.
Right.
No, I did not inherit the company. Okay. No, and I wasn't working for the company in 73. Again, I don't look that old, do I?
No.
Okay,
you were 8 or 9.
Silver Fox.
No, you were, yeah, you
Silver
were 8.
Fox.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
That escalated quickly.
And this is why we don't allow HR.
Yeah,
on the IT.
Luckily, our HR team is over in Grand Rapids.
I think our original name was Computer Technical Services.
Originally the name of the company back in 1973, 72, when it started, was Lincoln Technical Service.
Okay.
Back then, that was a good brand. Lincoln, like the president and all that good stuff. Yeah. And primarily focused at that time on engineering and construction. It was a staffing firm.
Okay.
Working in the nuclear industry, working in the oil and gas industry, and over time evolved into getting involved in IT in the early mid-'80s. Back when PCs, you guys were all way too young for that.
No, not really.
No, not really.
Feel better now.
No, let's put. Yeah, do we look that young to you?
Yeah, I was basically born with a keyboard in my hand.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go. Okay, all right.
That was a conversation last week where we all got kicked out of high school for trying to hack into.
Where'd your parents work again, Dave?
Wang.
Wang? Oh my! Are you kidding?
No, my folks were R&D for Wang back when that actually mattered.
No
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember Wang.
Yeah, my
Yeah. Bob doesn't explain a lot.
And the marketing people are laughing.
Bob remembers Wang.
and the
Have another Slim Jim.
And the marketing girls are laughing because they're trying to figure out who named a company Wang.
Right. Yeah. Dr. Charles Wang is who named the company Wang. But yeah, no, he was
also the L. Chervik.
Yeah. My dad was actually a Tempest engineer. He used to do secure systems and all that fun stuff.
Oh God.
So
Chucky
anyway,
Wang.
Chucky Wang. Chucky Wangy. Go on, George. Proceed.
We still have an hour.
Okay.
At least have another hard cider.
And whatever good image we were trying to put forth of this.
We crashed and burned like 10 minutes ago.
With our demographic, you're scoring huge. Trust me.
Huge points. Okay, all right.
If you're not laughing right now, you shouldn't be listening at all anyway.
So at the core, we just really do try to make a difference. I mean, we have a theme in our organization. We try to keep the human element in recruiting and staffing.
I got to give the girls credit. When I opened up that box and there was a hockey jersey with the sales guy on the back, there was a grin from ear to ear, and I'm like, who does that? I'm like, those girls. It's
class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and for those that don't know that story, so the three of us, came home one day and there were boxes on our porches, and lo and behold, there were hockey jerseys that we wore down to the Yelp event that were, DetroitNet.org, Networking Detroit, one beer at a time on the front, the geek on the back of mine, the sales guy on the back of Bob's, and the voice of reason on the back of Jeff's.
It was awesome.
It was very, very cool.
We couldn't resist. You guys are awesome. I mean, it's just a fun thing to do.
And mine actually fit.
Out with you guys. Good. I'm glad.
Oh, you're back to me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm stuck.
Human
so
element.
anyway.
Human element.
The human element. All right, so it's really about trying to match people in jobs. It's not about skills. Although skills are important, it's really about putting the people in the right position. So both sides of the equation end up being happy and successful and working out really well.
Well, it seems like recruiters... I was going to say, it seems like recruiters get almost a bad name as like sales guys do if you don't do it right. Like, they don't care about me; they just want to place me. And again, I think you guys bring another dimension to it where you guys actually, the stories that I've heard and the dealings that I've had with you, that you guys are actually, have the best interest in mind of the candidates you're placing, not only the companies you're working with, right?
Yeah. It should be an equal equation, and in today's world and in the staffing industry. In a lot of cases, they're giving me more beer.
Why are you surprised? I don't understand.
I'm sorry. Did you not receive the marketing brief from your marketing department before you came?
No, he asked me.
They didn't warn me, right?
During the break, it was just me and George. And he goes, "Do you have any water?" I'm like,
Fridge?
"No,
no."
Oh, there is no fridge. Oh, usually there's nothing in the fridge.
They didn't tell me the studio was a sauna and we'd be drinking Pabst.
Well, you actually fixed the AC unit, so we appreciate that.
Yeah,
somewhat.
Is the bill in the mail?
We'll send you
No, it's all part of that human element thing. I was sweating.
Right.
No, but you were talking about your recruiters having a bad rap. So one day in our office, we tried to come up with the worst names that recruiters are called. We had a pretty long list.
Yeah.
So headhunter.
Pimp.
Oh yeah, pimp.
Yeah, right.
Like a pimp.
Headhunter's a bad. I thought headhunter was just
why
it's a bad word.
Is that
Depends upon how you look at it. I mean, it is when it's done well. It is a profession. It can be useful and helpful to people and companies.
I've never heard it as a negative connotation. That's why I'm curious.
Headhunter?
Yeah.
I assure you, Russ does not want to run into a headhunter in Ethiopia.
That's why he has a machine gun.
No, but I mean, it is. I mean, and this is actually a conversation that's come up. It came up at our last event. It's come up at several events before where people are. There is sort of a negative connotation around, staffing firms versus, working with, a company, quote unquote, directly. And that's, a lot of the conversations we have are, okay, well, look, you don't get it. That there's a reason why those companies turn to staffing firms in order to deal with that, need that they have. It is what it is, and you kind of have to understand and roll with it. The point, or the trick there is finding the right company to work with. And that's why, we tend to stress with people, don't send your resume to 50 staffing companies, and that's, again, networking 101, come to the events, have the conversations, meet with people, and find the one or two that you want to work with that you get a good vibe from and they get a good vibe from you, and roll that way.
Right. And don't be working with firms that don't want to meet with you, that will, you lost your power to the, oh, there it goes again.
Screensaver, we're fine.
That are just, if they're submitting your resume without talking to you first, don't work with them.
Right.
You want to have contact with the person representing you, and that person should have direct contact with the hiring managers and the people that are going to be hiring you, so they can best represent you and best represent the company.
I was going to say, so what about stuff for out of state or people recruiting in state? That kind of, does that throw that off, or is that?
No,
you're not just Detroit, right?
Yeah, we have offices in Dallas and Weston, Florida, just outside of Fort Lauderdale, and here in Detroit. We do some.
I think we can do a springbreaknet.org.
Oh,
elbow room's still open.
Wait, yeah, it is actually. I know where the elbow.
Wait. Let me check that domain first.
My boss lives in Lauderdale. We had like a half an hour conversation on pen rods because
nice.
Yeah, exactly. Tulio actually went there when he was, I think, 16 or 17. We went there, but it was when we were like 22, but it was refurbished already to something else. But the old 80s movies were. Yeah. Anyway, good story, Bob.
So, no.
Well, what you're getting at, though, is you have to develop a relationship, and that takes time, right?
And
you can't just submit in the dark.
Yes.
Well,
it's interesting. I mean, we have contractors that have been with us, some of them 14 years, 15 years. That's kind of crazy, especially in our industry. So there's some really good relationships.
We talk about
that says something.
We talk about networking being like the constant contact. Once you place somebody, I mean, do you guys keep in the loop saying once a month, every 2 months, every 3 months, like, hey, how you doing? Because there's a strong chance, not that they're going to, move.
It shouldn't be fire and forget.
No, but it's a huge part of our business. And look, our business is based on referrals. I think like 51% of our placements now come from referrals. So it's in our best interest to stay in contact with people and make sure that we're following up and we have a good relationship with them.
Yeah, I mean, retention could not be more important,
especially right now.
A lot of our, I mean, not a lot, but like at least a good amount of our recruiters have been with us for at least 5+ years, so they have relationships with contractors and they've gotten referrals out of them. I know Justin has like placed and replaced like countless contractors since in his 11 or 12 year tenure.
Mm-hmm. Heck, there's people that have gotten like 6-7 jobs from Detroit Net Offense, and they're still going strong. Right? I'm not being funny. It's true.
Oh yeah, like one person that's gotten 6 or 7 jobs.
Right. Yeah. Right. So do we count them as 6, or are they just one?
Right. Well, no. So I mean, is it just
the government counting?
Right. So I mean, is it just the typical staffing model? I mean, do you guys also do,
we
direct placement
we
and all
do
that
direct
stuff?
placement. We do retained search. We do what we refer to as a project-based models for larger type projects or for smaller.
So you actually build
companies.
out teams.
Yeah, we'll actually build out teams. We also have some other solutions that we provide. One of the challenges we found in the industry is when you do a great job of recruiting, some companies they don't necessarily do a great job of then onboarding and doing orientation for those employees.
Yeah, the full fire and forget.
Yeah, it's you bring somebody great on board, you think you've got great alignment, but the first day they show up on the job, what happens?
There's
They
no
go to
laptop.
HR,
There's
right?
no this.
Oh,
there's no. I'm sorry. Who are you?
Yeah,
right.
And they don't even know what the
They're
company
a man
culture
without a
is or
country.
where right.
Yeah.
Where's the restroom?
When I
Lunchroom? Who's that person in the corner? And
Right.
They don't get any help. And 6 months later, companies wonder, why are they leaving? Well, they never connected with the organization.
Yeah.
So we have a solution that we provide that helps people connect or helps companies do a better job of
Really?
connecting. Yeah. So
I was gonna say when I started at Hewlett Packard, I didn't get my laptop till Thursday. I'm home based, and so I'm like, what am I supposed to? do?
I think we talked about that.
Grand Theft Auto.
last
Really?
time.
So when Hewlett Packard brought you on board, I mean, when you went into HR, you filled out all your paperwork and did that kind of thing.
All home based.
Oh, you were working. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
and then
All right,
all
different, a little bit different.
All the
Okay.
PCs are fulfilled by Black Box.
Okay.
So if they don't have anything in stock, it's
The
not
band
like
that did Strike It Up.
right. That's something I would say. Like, screw you for mocking me.
Jeff is actually covering his mouth.
Jeff's gonna lose it.
He's gonna spew PBR.
Voice
all
of
over.
reason is
We
about to lose
we
it.
almost have PBR all over the microphone.
For once, I'm being sincere, and they're like using my one-liners against me. But it was fulfilled through a third party. So you think, hey, biggest PC manufacturer in the world, and they can't even give me a damn laptop till Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
You make them.
Right.
Exactly. Make that happen.
Well, I almost with this job, the two choices, because obviously they're the enemy of everyone, is Lenovo or Mac. I'm like, God, if they send me a Mac, I do not want to learn a new,
Nice.
You'd have to call me up, and then you'd never hear the
Exactly. I need to.
Yeah, Jeff, I got a Mac. Life's
Thank
over.
God I got the Lenovo. right.
So,
Yeah, because I'm sure that's great for
So
you.
you've got offices here. You've got offices, an office in Dallas, and an office in Florida. That actually, okay. So you've got a good perspective. What are you seeing in this market here that's different from the other two markets that you
Good
deal
question.
in? I have
Wow.
those every now and then. Thanks.
One.
In the IT space, I'm not going to say there's a whole lot of difference. There aren't enough people to go around. I mean, it's in.
So pretty common problem no matter where you are.
Oh yeah. It's yeah.
So our industries to this area are not unique. So if you're in Florida, you still have the same .NET requirements going through the roof. Can't find people fast enough.
.NET, mobile dev.
All the above. And everybody's in a hurry. And they want them yesterday. And yeah.
Unreal.
Why are there still history and English majors out there with the job market just in this total?
Well,
I'm just throwing that out there. I mean, because we hear all the time, I can't find a job. What'd you major in? Sanskrit. Well, duh.
Well, no, and there's
Sanskrit, really?
Romance languages.
A 5,000-year-old dead language. Latin, it's good enough.
Yeah, Latin. It's going to be a priest now. I want to be a programmer.
No, but
Right.
we were talking about this with the Grand Circus guys, and I think it's that you're not introducing it at a young enough age. By the time you can't reach them when they're a senior in high school, you got to start introducing it in middle school. I mean, middle schoolers can code. That's what's so cool about it. You can get them involved at a really
Do they
early
need
age.
to?
No, I
But
think
you can get them interested.
Well, you want to develop an interest.
It's like any other language.
I mean, I wrote Commodore code,
No, but I mean, it's like any other. They say the best time to learn, Spanish, French, any other
Oh, yeah,
language
when you're a
is before
toddler.
your age. Before the age of 5.
Yeah.
it's a different line of. It's a different way of thinking. It's a different language. It's not a bad. I mean, I literally. I mean, I okay. Granted, I wasn't actually born with a keyboard in my hand, but I mean, I was probably screwing around and banging. I was banging on the wang.
Who's got the belt? There we go.
At a young age, just poking and seeing what it could do.
Can I isolate that? I was banging on
Banging
the
and
wang.
poking.
Oh, absolutely, we are.
Dave was banging and poking.
Yeah, 9:55.
9:55. Dave's banging on the wang.
Isolate the wang. That's right.
No, but you talk about languages. I mean, we're raising our two kids to speak 3 languages. I mean, it's really no different. Well, I mean, one of them wants to be on the computer, the other one doesn't. It's like, I don't think you can force them.
No. But if there's an interest, nurture it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, and all of my friends that have kids, one of them walked up to the computer. He's 2 years old, and he's like swiping it, like swiping the iPad or the TV, and can't figure out why the TV is not like
my
changing.
2-year-old does the same thing.
Yeah, why they don't have the Minority Report TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My kid, we're watching regular
Daddy,
TV.
laptop is broken. The screen broken.
Yeah.
Broken.
Dad, fast forward. I'm like, no, we're watching live TV. The commercials.
He doesn't understand that.
What do you mean, no, fast forward the commercial? No.
In my day, we had to.
Well, and what's amazing is how quickly they pick up. I mean, you put a phone in a little kid's hand, and
My
they'll
2-year-old
figure it out
taught my
pretty
wife how to
quickly.
use her iPad.
I believe it.
Yes.
They're good.
That's outstanding.
No, but I think getting them interested at a very young age in computers and even in engineering and IT and
It goes to as whether you call it a community or a nation, getting people interested in the importance of technology. And it's not there. When you take a look at the graduating classes coming out of college,
that's sad.
And yeah, it's 15-20% are coming out of, maybe 25% are coming out with technology degrees, engineering or IT or whatever, and the rest of them are attorneys and business majors and God knows what else.
Most of them are attorneys. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Marketing
It just doesn't serve the country well.
Right.
It doesn't serve industry well. And I put some of the fault on industry itself by not going and supporting the activities in the schools at a younger age, and
it's almost like you have to make them realize that it's in their best interest long term.
Well,
just promote it a little bit.
Well, Snyder went to Germany and he's bringing back a program that they utilize, like Porsche and Mercedes and Daimler and them. They'll go to the colleges and they'll sponsor and basically do live work, where you work for 6 months on at the planner in the office.
That's what GMI used to be.
Yeah, then you go to school for 6 months. Well, why did they stop that? Because to me, that's an ideal program. Then when you come out, you have a job. And
just like the Kettering model, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's what I mean. But
TechWorks shut down, didn't it?
Yeah.
See, like, so April and I are in marketing.
You can't shrug. You can't shrug
deals
on
with
the
IT.
radio.
So
I don't know.
So when April and I were probably in high school, like the things we learned were kind of by the book, like how you market,
like 5 years ago.
how you but how you like do product placement. But like what April and I probably could have learned was how to utilize these systems and how to code them in terms of like making a website, like in terms of all these things that we actually use today, like on a daily basis, like all these things we use on a daily basis, we probably should have and could have learned, but the thing is, like, these weren't necessarily made attractive or known that it was part of our industry.
Is flooding Twitter 101 a class these days?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Well, just like in IT, I mean, a lot of it is stuff you teach yourself, right?
Yep.
Same thing here.
Of it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were joking about earlier. Like I grew up playing Lego and building stuff and then breaking it apart. Like when I started getting into computers, I would learn how to code something and then break it.
The best way to learn how things work is to break it and then have to fix it.
Yeah, like the child of the 80s taking apart the phone, can't figure out how to put it back together.
I took a few sales classes actually in college, and what it taught me was absolutely everything that.
And we are so going to dive into Sandler after the break. But believe it or not, we are actually up against another break.
This is IT and the D Show.
We'll be right back.
Cost more than your house. Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about.
We are back. The IT and the D
How
studio.
old were you?
Yeah, we were. With the music that was just on a Mr. Carter. The girls like, "Oh yeah, this is great." And they're like, "You have no clue what the heck that is."
Not any idea whatsoever.
What did you say when I said Chub Rock 1990 Chub Rock? And she goes, "I go, yeah, I was a junior in high school."
No, I was 3
You were
years
3.
old.
I'm just gonna go home now.
Born in '87.
Oh my god!
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to bring my dad to your events. That's what
Hey, at least his dad, Jorge, he's a pretty cool guy. So.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
No, we actually had that happen once. Bob and I were standing around yakking with somebody, and she, recruiter chick, and she was like, "Yeah, you guys are doing really great stuff." Yeah, we were like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, I think my dad needs to come to your event." So we were like,
No, it wasn't that. No, it wasn't that she was a recruiter chick. She was like drop dead gorgeous. And we're like, "Hi, how are you?" And she's like, you guys would be great for my dad. They were like, no, you just ruined everything.
Well, that just happened actually on Russ's Facebook page. Some girl posted a comment. She's like, he posted, like, he changed his profile photo, and
every 2 hours,
right? And some girl posted, "Oh, you look just like my dad." I'm like, "Oh, great! That's what every single guy in his 40s wants to hear."
And then he hears sad trombone. Wah, 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 wah. Do we have a purpose to this show, or are we just like talking?
Really don't know.
It's always common rambling. You know that at this point.
What was the we had a
well, before we hop in, we do still have our number at 313.
No one's gonna call.
462 0107.
We keep making fun of people to call. That's
That's why I said people are afraid to call now.
Right.
We're at Twitter, or on Twitter at IT and the D.
No one's going to tweet.
And we've had a couple. And we're on Facebook at facebook.com/IT and the D.
There we are.
So now do your thing, Bob. Go ahead.
I don't have a thing. Before the break,
we've been waiting for this for like an hour and a half. We
No.
have.
I mean,
Isolate at 10:08.
Right before
I don't have a thing.
Right before the break, I was talking about, we're talking about college classes and sales classes, on how, the sales classes I took taught me absolutely zero real world.
Well, but it's the same thing with IT. You go through school and you learn.
But isn't code?
No.
In college, I learned C and COBOL. I don't think I've coded a line
Pascal
of COBOL.
and
COBOL
Fortran.
still exists.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely it does.
It's just checking.
Yeah.
I'm just checking.
But that, that's one of the reasons I went into business, because I took 3 of those classes. I think it was like WordPerfect, COBOL.
Right.
And I don't like this stuff.
This is the spell
awful.
check.
This is work.
Hey, Bob, what happened to WordPerfect?
Oh, that was good. I like that.
Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft.
Corell's still out there pimping it.
Did I tell you that? I don't know. This is a stupid data point, but I think it's kind of funny. 4 years ago, it makes sense when you look at like iOS and Android, but 4 years ago, 90% of the machines that were hooked up to the internet used Microsoft. Today, it's under 20.
Oh, yeah.
Say that.
Linux.
So 4 years ago, 90% of all the machines that were connected to the internet used Microsoft in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Today, it's under 20.
Wow.
I was going to say, most of it is Android and iOS.
Yeah, I was going to say every cell phone's connected to the, it makes
Right.
sense, but
Right.
it's funny how the competitors of Microsoft love to throw that slide out and really leave it blank,
Well, I still love Ballmer's quote when he was asked about the iPhone back in 07, and he laughed. He's like, "It doesn't even have a keyboard. That's not going to take off.
It's a fad.
It's a fad.
Well,
Nobody's going to want that."
We have a friend that's in internet commerce.
He
Was
just
a
got
fad.
fired from Microsoft, didn't he?
And we rub his nose in the poo-poo all the time about it. Like, oh yeah, that internet commerce thing is just a fad. Like,
it's right up there with rock and roll and rap music. It's going to go away anyway.
I was guilty of. I remember back in when did Amazon start off? Back in
98,
97, something like that. Yeah, I remember seeing their webpage for the first time. Like, I would never buy a book online. Never. I remember saying that out loud. Like, this is the dumbest idea ever.
My wife wanted to go shopping for
Whereas
Now I buy peanut butter on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
Right.
I immediately started buying books on Amazon.com.
My wife wanted to go.
I said I immediately started buying books on Amazon.com.
Well, I had an account, but I'm just saying that it was just so bizarre back then.
Yeah,
we got a baby coming, so we need a bunk bed for the 2 kids' rooms, right? And so Bo wants to go shopping for bunk beds. I'm like, no. And I just go, give me the dimensions. And I went on Amazon, like 4th bed down. I'm like, that one works. Cherry sold, and it's going to be here in 2 days, free shipping. Amazon Prime.
Great reviews.
Yeah, right.
No, I don't even care about the reviews. I don't read reviews. Those people are psychos that review stuff.
That's like
when are you going to be calling me to assemble this
Hopefully
thing?
it's safe. The kids don't die.
No, this is
whatever.
I will assemble it, but I will put it together backwards first, and I'll have to unscrew the whole thing and then put it together right.
And they all come with a specialty little hex screwdriver.
Yeah, well, that's my IKEA. Everything I put together in IKEA was always backwards. Then I had to unscrew everything and put it back together. And by that time, I'm swearing in German.
You don't realize it until like step 15,
right? And you're like, oh my god, everything I've ever put together.
Board B is backwards. Damn it.
That was a 3, not a B.
And you swear up Sweden, or is it Sweden or Denmark, wherever they're from?
Sweden.
Yeah, meatballs. That's right.
Swedish meatballs. Yeah,
I'm from Inga from Sweden.
Nice. No, but I mean, it is. I mean, that the whole classes don't necessarily prepare you for the real world thing. I mean, that is true regardless of what you go into. I mean, even back, high school, we were playing around with a PDP-11 mainframe.
Well, I don't know. Doctors, the medical industry should teach you something about doing.
You're going to school
surgery.
for 12
Well,
years.
you would hope so, but you know what they call the guy that graduates at the bottom of his class? Doctor.
But you look at, remember when, in sales, what they teach, it's feature benefit sales, right? And that's the antithesis of anyone that's a good sales guy.
Say it.
Say it.
What?
Say it. No, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But what, like remember my first time I cold call you? I'm like, hey man, we got this great data center, and you got gig interfaces, and we got
Oh yeah, for those who don't know, Bob and I actually, the whole reason why we met is that Bob was a cold call sales guy that was calling me.
I wasn't a cold call. I was a territory. I mean, by whatever means necessary.
To me, you cold called him.
Yeah, but when you're
and so like the first 3 companies he was at, it was like, oh god, this Walton Spiel guy's calling me again. And then finally, again,
you said that yesterday to me.
Oh, I think I said that in a parking lot. But no, I mean, finally, like that networking 101, he called me up, and it wasn't, hey, I'm at this new company and there's all these great data centers. It was, hey man, you want to go meet for a beer?
Ding.
That's how this clicked and how that got started.
But, and that taught me more about sales than I think anything did. And again, it was all about trial and error. Every time I tried to go to somebody and talk about how great our backbone was and how many, milliseconds we were from the Chicago nap and, exactly, nobody gave it. You know what?
Right.
People want to work with people they like and trust, and that's what it's about.
They want to
exactly
make my life easier, solve my problems, and take
make
stuff
my
off
problems
my plate.
go away.
Yeah,
Right.
and make my life easier. I mean, really, that's what it boils down to.
Well, but I mean, that's always been Detroit Net.
But you would be
101.
interested in that,
right?
But it's segue. So George, we had a nice conversation at the bar before we got here.
He's steaming over
It
there.
wasn't a conversation.
No, it was. It was
and me without my "Let's get ready to rumble."
No, it was more of a chastising on my part.
An attack, yeah, okay.
No, not an attack.
A shot across the bow.
No, it's kind of like
nice, Bob. Attack the president of the company that sponsored our event.
us.
That's outstanding. Go ahead.
By
all means, go.
Yeah.
No, it's the same as like
They're giving us money. Just keep that in mind.
It's okay.
No, it's the same as like I
Quick, give him another beer.
I hate country music, and then he goes, I like country music, and I'm like, well, screw you. That's pretty much how the conversation went at the bar.
I didn't catch the comment about country music.
No, I said I go.
Well, no. So I mean, it's and people that have been in our events before have heard you tell the story about I mean, you flew in from an event to our event over at Lucky Strike.
Lucky Strike,
in
Novi.
And you landed
right from the airport.
Right, and you landed unable to contain yourself, waiting to tell the story about the sales training that you just gone through.
Guys, you're not going to believe this.
Well, the company spent like $150,000 to train like 40 of us, and we're all Type A, firstborn, like sales guys, right? We've been doing this a very long time. I think the youngest guy in the room was like 38-ish. And they taught us like the kind of not a rudimentary sales tactic, but we went into the elevator pitch and the what you do at networking events and how you tell people what you do. And it was so ridiculous. I told the guy, I go, I'm flying to Detroit to host a networking event that I run. And I go, so help me God. I go, I will get thrown out of my own group if I talk to people like that. He goes, I want you to call me as soon as you're done. I never called him. I should have called him.
We begged you to call him.
I know. No, because we're going to put him on speakerphone.
I was going to say, I thought we wanted to have him on speakerphone so you could actually hear you, do the anti whatever it was that he was trying to teach you.
But it's funny though, George. I was talking to you about it, and you're like, "Yeah, no, I never heard that. Yeah, no, I never heard it." So I'll take bad trainer. I've been hit with it 3 times. I've been hit with that kind of tactic 3 times in my life, and so now I got it implanted in my head that it's complete toilet. But I mean, there was 1 or 2 good things I got out of it, and that wasn't one of them, which is fine. I mean, it was 4 days of my life that I won't get back.
You still work for that company?
No,
he doesn't.
You figured it out.
Yeah, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. But I mean, really, what the point was that they taught me was almost like hard to get. You know what I mean? Like, it's not dating. Dating with hard to get might work, but in corporate America, if you walk away from a sale or a scenario, you're gone. You're never gonna get invited back in. Me saying, well, call me when you're ready to do business. This makes me look like a pompous clown. That's just my take. If you beg to differ, if you tell me different,
a little bit. I think that you pick and choose the business that you want. And if you're not driving real value and that end client doesn't see the value that you're driving, if they don't recognize it, they don't want to pay for it, go find somebody who wants to pay for it.
I think knowing when to fold them is one of the key traits of a good sales guy.
Well, I think what George teaches all his
So your
sales-
motto is Kenny Rogers the Gambler?
Absolutely.
Well, and I think something that George teaches all his salespeople is we don't work with companies that don't value their people. If they don't really care about their people and invest in the culture that they have and the employees that they bring in, we don't want to work with those people. We can't bring value
Well,
there.
no, but I mean, to your point, I mean, it's no different than, in the IT space. Everybody, okay, so yeah, you've done Agile. All right, well, what methodology do you use? None of them, and yet all of them. Because, I mean, the entire point is that you cherry pick, this is what works for this particular project, this particular initiative at this particular client. That works here. It doesn't mean that it works, that book works everywhere else.
Well, Dave, and you look at me as a sales guy, I got to talk to the technology group. I got to talk to sales management. I have to talk to operations. I have to talk to the CFO. And every single pitch up and down the chain is completely different.
Right.
I think it's the same same on the technology side too. Is you can't just be a one-trick pony. You have to completely adapt to your scenario or to your surroundings.
And that's one of the, and we've had this conversation before. One of the, just me from being in my early 20s, and the hardcore, F everybody. Geek that
I'm the smartest man alive.
I am the smartest man alive.
It took you till you're like 38 to get rid of that. By the way, we're proud of you.
He's 39.
Wait, are you
exactly?
Are you sure he's gotten rid of it?
No, he's better than he was.
Well, no, but I mean, it's because you don't understand the business side of things.
Program.
Yeah, you don't understand the business side of things, and it's and some of that comes down to what do you learn in school,
right?
And that's part of the issue with these kids that, and it kills me that I call them kids.
Get off your lawn.
Exactly, get off my lawn. That show up at our events and they're fresh out of school and they think the world's going to hand them a $150,000 a year job as a senior architect or CTO. It doesn't work that way. You have to learn both sides of the fence, but it's where that education system fails them.
It's funny you say that because it's the same thing in the IT group. If you give an IT group and you don't really give them a budget, they will build the Taj Mahal for the smallest environment.
Yeah, I asked you for a pen, not a factory that builds pens.
Right. So I mean, we see that me being in the being in the data,
blue, not black.
Being in the data center space, it's unbelievable these things these guys have built. And the CFO really doesn't know what the hell they're...
What he's writing checks for?
Yeah. Isn't that the old story, though? The CFO hires the CTO. He was the first guy to hire him, and he didn't know. This guy's a finance guy, right? And that's where it's funny because where I'm at now, I'm the first guy that has a data center background, not a finance background, and I'm supposed to be,
So you can call BS on
I can call.
trying to pull
I can
the
call
wool over those.
all of that. Yeah, because I'm. I come in.
Well, Bob brings legitimacy to organization. Headline you'll never read.
Story at 11. Yeah, but it's true though.
Bell?
The people that can like Dave. That's you've kind of taken pride into doing that. Sitting on both sides of the fence, and you have to have those people in your organization.
Yeah,
you do.
Well, but I mean, and that's part of what what I do every day, and what I'm sure your sales folks have to do every day is you have to be able to talk both sides. Not talk out of both sides of your mouth, but you have to be able to talk to both crowds.
Right.
I have to talk boardroom. I have to talk server room. I have to make geeks understand. There is I get that it's not the perfect solution. I get that you don't understand this timeline. There is a business driver that means this must happen. Mm-hmm. Go do. On the flip side, it's okay, CTO, VP, whoever else, there's a real good technical reason why this can't happen, and you need to understand that and grasp it, and let's figure out how to accommodate everybody.
Or this is or if you want to accomplish this, you have to do this.
Right.
Yeah, or this timeline is totally unrealistic.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like that's a lot of what you guys do. I mean, so I mean, when you're dealing with, your clients here in the area and, and that kind of stuff, I mean, how engaged, do your sales folks get with not, because I mean, and I know this is probably some of the harder conversations to have, is when a client pops up and says, okay, I need a Java developer. No, you don't. What you really need is this, and this, and but not.
That's no different.
Again, it goes.
I was going to say it's no different than the candidate saying, "Well, I do everything."
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's the process of and we have processes in place to ask enough questions and try to understand what the underlying circumstances are to make sure that we're putting the right fit together. Yeah, I need a Java developer, and come to find out, the guy didn't need to know Java. They really needed to know whatever.
Yeah, you really need a .NET developer with a COBOL background,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
It's also a business analyst.
or changing it in midstream. Or midstream is like, the person's been on board for 6 weeks and he's not working out. Why is that? Well, I really didn't need that skill set, so we try to make the effort to make sure it's, and it goes from the side of skills, and also goes from the side of whether somebody fits. I want to call it from a cultural standpoint. All work environments are different.
Oh, totally.
And and creating an understanding of the hiring manager and the group and what that's all about, and making sure you're putting somebody in there that's going to be. Bob probably wouldn't work in all the environments.
Right. You'd be surprised.
I like Bob.
But one of your old blogs bubbled up, which was what the beta fish.
Oh, the beta fish.
Well, basically saying if you put two of those people in one tank, you're going to they're going to destroy each other.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so
one of the oldest analogies I've used is building a team is like building a fish tank. It only takes one bad fish, one overly aggressive fish, one fish with a disease to wipe out the entire tank.
I've seen that where in desperation companies have brought in the superstar expert to come into an environment to fix something. And by the time they finished fixing it, half the existing team left, and they were in such a mess and disarray when it was all said and done.
Look at the Detroit Tigers. Nice, huge payroll you've got. A lot of names on that team, and yet you're down 2-1 in the first round of the series. I just made a baseball playoff analogy.
Wow.
They haven't
Wait, who are you?
They haven't lost yet. You know what? But no, look at the CFO that went to a local tech company and they lost a huge client, yet they still hired 35 internal. And then the next month they said, we lost that client. We have to fire 55. So they literally brought in people, top dollar people, like $250,000 people from SAP.
Oh, yeah.
And they flew them in from other cities to
relocated them.
And then a month later they said, whoops.
Sorry.
You're gone.
You are kidding.
No. We'll tell you offline. But this is one of the...
literally happening as we speak.
Do you know how hard that is for that company to recuperate? Because that kind of word gets around in the industry.
Absolutely.
People talk.
It's already running rampant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing you have to plan for. Everyone loses clients. That's the old story of a friend of the family started American Sunroof Company. He got the GM contract, hired 3,000 people, and then he lost that contract and he had to lay off like 2,000 people. He ended up going into clinical depression. But he took that personally. This company looks like they don't care. It's just...
Well, I mean, that's
must
the
be
joy.
Nice.
Well, but I mean, that's the joy of private equity. I mean, that's and we've seen this happen a couple of different times now with people that we know, where you've got the people that were very passionate about it, that were the ones that started the company.
They end up leaving.
They sold their soul for venture capital, and then got removed from their own company, and now it's the people that are strictly balance sheet, dollars and cents, and that's all it is. That's a problem.
So if you don't know, that guy got brought in from a completely different
industry,
everything.
Yeah,
and he's supposed to understand this business, and it's like,
in a very small firm industry company that was on the decline and went from a is there such a backstory there?
We'll talk later.
I was going to say
how many backstories are you actually going to share offline, Bob?
None.
There's a backstory within a backstory to the backstory.
Yeah, exactly.
So, hey, are we up against a break? We
actually are. It's 10:25.
All right, this is the IT and the D show.
We'll be right back.
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
Now. You're looking at now, sir. Everything that happens now is happening now.
What happened to then?
In past then.
When?
Just now. We're at now.
Go back to then.
When?
Now.
Now?
Now.
I can't.
Why?
We missed it.
When?
Just now.
When will then be now? Soon. How soon?
What we found out is that each one of us is a brain and an athlete
and a basket case, a princess,
and a criminal. Does that answer your question? Sincerely yours.
The IT and the D Club. We are back. The IT and the D show. Before the end of the show, we have to figure out who's who from the Breakfast Club in terms of us.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, I was going to say you're the geek.
Yeah, you're the geek.
I'm Brian that can't make an elephant lamp.
What am
someone
I?
explode my lamp.
In college, I would have been like the jock, but now, like, forget it. Who's the
April's the jock.
April's a jock.
There you go. There you go.
The runner extraordinaire.
Yeah. April works
I'll take
out.
that.
I work out.
She works out.
Meet me at the gym.
George is a pretty mean racquetball player, from what I hear. So.
Oh, really?
If John Candy was in Breakfast Club, I'd be him. But otherwise,
You'd be the honorary Uncle Buck.
yeah, John Belushi.
I think he's all about eastbound and down.
You're Jack Chester from Summer
Kenny
Rental.
Powers.
Oh, just wait, it's coming.
You got a Kenny Powers train.
Last night, Eastbound and Down was probably the best episode they've ever done. I've never been like excited for a TV show.
Didn't you get up and
I did. I stood up and like arms up, like
yes,
like
yes.
I instantly like Kenny Powers. Like that was like it was honestly. If you haven't seen last night's episode,
have not.
You
No.
need to go watch
Never
it. Phenomenal.
I have the first two sitting on the DVD.
It really
you know
is.
me. I give it a couple episodes and then I catch up in spurts.
Yeah, but Kenny Powers is like, I don't want to say not an idol. Idol's such a stupid word, but it's like the one TV character that like that guy's like so
Bob
much
is
me.
Kenny Powers.
Exactly. Like there's so much about Kenny Powers that I look up to.
That you admire and you wish to be in life.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
So, should you get an airbrush T-shirt of you and your wife?
oh, that's an
velvet
awful
painting.
shirt. I do. My wife did give me a Powers 55. Actually, my daughter's 55 on her like 6-year-old soccer team. I'm like, you
must be so proud.
You gotta go, Kenny Powers.
Do you have a wave runner?
A what?
A wave runner?
No, yeah. Actually, last night he bought like a lime green Viper for like $80,000. It was just.
Nice. But I mean, just talking about being excited about stuff, and this is something I threw out on Facebook yesterday. Ender's Game is coming out 11/1.
What was that?
Dude, Ender's Game is hands down one of the.
This is where Bob is going to go silent.
Right. This is one of the greatest sci-fi books of all time. It truly is.
I didn't read.
Where's the buzzer? Where's the bell?
Right. But I mean, and they are. I mean, I've literally been waiting.
I can't do that because I actually agree with them.
I've literally been waiting damn near 30 years for this movie to come out. Like there have been rumors about it since '85.
Like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but
which was such a disappointment.
that was a spoof.
Yeah, but I mean, so Ender's Game. I've watched the trailer, and I'm simply praying that it's not going to be
multiple trailers now.
Oh, I know. But
when are they coming out with Castle Wolfenstein, the movie?
Nice.
Get out.
Von Wolfenstein.
And we're done with you.
Yeah. Jeff is now player moderator.
That's right. That's Jeff's job. Jeff's job is the voice of reason.
And drink.
So before we do forget, though, I mean, I do want to make sure we hit on. So it's gobrightwing.com.
That's right.
www.gobrightwing.com. Yes, it is.
And they can find folks going there can find out all about you, all about the jobs that you've got open right now and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Apply for gigs, and obviously we've got the recruiters that float around at our events, and that's one thing we haven't touched on yet. Is we do have our next event next Thursday on October 17th.
I want to miss it.
It's already next Thursday.
You're not going to
Wow.
be. It is.
No, I'm in Minneapolis.
That's
The third Thursday.
Can you send Bo?
They always
Oh
do.
wait, she's like 8 months pregnant.
Yeah,
Don't send Bo.
So where is this one?
Date is
Blackfin.
Blackfin.
Oh.
Next Thursday,
Royal
October
Oak?
17th. Yep.
Convenient.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Be
Their
there.
point of sale system working now?
Yeah. Yes, it is. So so that's our
Want to
next
tell that
event.
story, Dave?
No. And then we've got we're doing a cool thing with the Great Lakes Technology Showcase folks.
Yeah, Scott was on last week.
Yep, and we were talking with him, and he reached out afterwards. And so for you folks that have been quite literally hounding us from time to time about mainframe, infrastructure, data center, telecom jobs. There's a ton. Yeah,
there is.
I know.
You'll want to be at the Old Shillelagh on Tuesday, November 5th, starting at 8 p.m. We've got
Second
that event
floor.
listed out on our site.
Aren't we starting
upstairs.
earlier than that?
Wait, what's
No.
the Tuesday?
No,
Go at
it's 8 o'clock. It was 6, but now it's 8.
Yeah, we had talked about it, but I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it,
You
yeah,
gotta push it back.
Yeah, none of us are gonna be able
Any
to make
excuse
it
to have a
there.
drink at the Old Shillelagh, I'm in.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, you
Wait,
have you
what's
actually
it
you
called
have,
on the Tuesday?
you have a
So
really good,
Great
big
Lakes
excuse,
Technology
don't you?
Showcase. They were one of the other folks that were a sponsor of our
November
event on
9.
9/19. They are basically a telecom and technology trade show, and they're doing a couple of like networking, hangout, and drink events. One of the ones they're doing is on Tuesday, November 5th, and it's at the Old Shillelagh starting at 8 o'clock.
But all the big telecommunications, cloud providers,
Data
infrastructure
center
providers,
guys,
data center
yeah.
guys, they're going to be packed. So, like we don't really hit that too hard. So we said, it'd be a great partnership opportunity for us to kind of hit those folks.
And beer.
Beer.
Yeah, and Old Shillelagh.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool venue to have an event.
I think it's on the roof too, and I have not been on that roof.
Yeah, taken over the entire second floor.
Yeah,
it's second floor.
Third floor, not the second floor.
He
is
said
it?
second floor.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's the second floor.
I've been there many times.
Just say if you're on the roof, it's gonna be like 30 degrees outside. So
I'll be fine.
Snowing.
Yeah, it's like the air conditioning's on outside all day long. I love it that time of year.
You won't even notice. And then
So,
after
Bob, how do you feel in the studio tonight?
I'm
melting.
Turn on the sweat machine.
It's actually shrinking to my size.
It's about 90 degrees.
and then after that, we are going to be heading back down to Falling Down Beer Company, which should be cool. They finished the remodel, and that's
I saw their new beer list.
Yeah,
It looks great.
Where's that?
And I'm still upset that they didn't save at least one booth.
Right. That's
Bob's
at
booth.
10 and DeQuinder in Warren. A great story. It's basically two IT guys that said, to hell with the IT industry, we're opening a brewery.
Sounds like you.
Bob cried the first time we had them in.
You did what I wanted to do.
Stole my idea.
And they basically took over. I think it was called like
Some
My
crappy-
Mother's
some
or
crappy
like
family
a
restaurant.
Ram's
Yeah, it was
Horn
like, it's
kind
like a
of thing.
Ram's Horn, I think, or a Denny's.
And started a brewery. And so all the vats and the brew stuff's out in the
Everything's
back
right there.
And it's very, very cool.
And I worked across the street from there when I was 17 years old at the beer distributor for the Labatt Coors distributor. So I knew the place like as soon as we went there.
Was it a Ram's Horn?
Good
No,
story,
it was,
Bob.
yeah, great crickets.
But no, so the trick, the trick to Falling Down Beer Company is the Ninja Chicken Beer and the Reuben egg rolls.
Wow.
Ninja Chicken.
Reuben egg rolls. Huh?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Which you won't be able to have because you're gluten.
Hey, stop it!
Drink your cider, Elise.
Yeah, give me cider. Feed me non-gluten.
Gluten free.
Listen.
You and H-Bomb should hang out.
Yeah, no kidding.
You guys could drink a lot of nothing.
No
all
one
night.
here wants me to eat gluten. That's all I'm gonna say.
Have another water.
That's her story, and she's sticking to it. No, so go brightwing.com, and that's what I wanted to double back on is, so what...
If you go to gobrightwing.com/jobs, that's where you really want to go, because that's where all the jobs are, and you can kind of see everything.
Does anyone
we have
actually
up
say
there.
backslash anymore?
What do you say?
Isn't it like just slash?
Slash jobs?
Slash jobs.
Slash
No
jobs.
one forward slash.
There's a forward slash and a backslash, so maybe people.
Because
I don't know.
technically backslash would
Listen,
not
you
work
guys
on
are
the internet.
IT
No, it wouldn't.
people.
Actually, it would like spawn something bad, right?
Right. You'd be viewed as a DOS attack coming in on the site. That would not be good.
Speaking of DOS attacks, can we talk about healthcare.gov?
Let's
Damn it.
How well did that work out?
No.
I just got to go there. Now you've opened up an opportunity. No, okay.
No.
Go Brightwing/jobs.
So how many jobs are available on gobrightwing.com?
Over 100.
And how's your health care?
we are ACA compliant.
He's at 49 employees and standing.
We hired the 50th. We have to fire somebody.
Right. So what are the obviously we hear from everybody. I mean it's .NET and mobile app devs.
Mobile app
so
dev.
what are you guys hunting hard and heavy for right now?
.NET mobile app. We work in a project managers. A lot of project managers.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
They're looking
QA
for
testers.
Like PMP certified or experienced?
Just experienced.
Okay.
Some actually I'm seeing less and less where people are actually asking for that PMP certification.
Right.
And it's really if they really run a project.
Well, it's kind of become the the MCSE. Everybody got the cert, therefore it is not as valuable as it used to be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So is that the
We are still seeing some Java. Java still
Really?
still rearing its head.
At least, did you say QA testers?
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Hi, Hillary.
Honestly, we are offering a $750 referral fee for anyone who places a QA tester at Brightwing.
Nice. Hillary, you're about to quit your job.
For .NET developers.
and .NET developers. I mean, cash is king. So that's honestly, we just sent out 2 emails to a few different lists for that price.
And you need like 1, 5, 10.
How many you think, George?
I ain't waking up for $750.
It's you know what? It's not my job to keep count.
That's right. It's marketing and the recruiters. That's what they're there for.
Yeah. You'll hire people for those jobs.
So I mean,
but a number of openings, and if they go to the website, which is
Go Brightwing/jobs.
/jobs. There we go. Slash
Apparently.
jobs. Okay.
Yes.
But we also have if you go throughout the rest of the site, there's some really good information on interviewing, how to write your resumes, things like that might be helpful in a job search.
I wonder how yours how to interview compares to ours. How not to suck at an interview.
You guys have a similar
we
article?
do.
Absolutely.
We have a 3-part series of how not to suck at interviewing for a job.
We have a one-part, very successful blog about how to thank your interviewers. Like, very specific examples.
Step-by-step process.
Oh, yeah. Like, I gave 4 or 5 examples as to how to thank your interviewers, depending on what kind of interviewer you
Isn't that bad, though? Because then they follow your Bible, so to speak, and then it's all the same, and you don't really get the personality of the person.
No, I mean, it's all about giving specific examples and...
You know what I mean, though, right? Like, you don't want everyone following the same.
Well, yeah, you don't want it to be a script, but I mean, it's it's the open to interpretation.
But it's an idea.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. I'm just
guidelines, not script.
Fair.
We did before this talk to some recruiters about kind of what they're seeing out of interviews. Elise, you want to share some of that?
Right. So one of our recruiters said maybe like the biggest gripes from our clients are candidates who don't give necessarily specific examples from their resume, and also the ramblers, people who aren't concise, and people who just don't give specific resumes.
I like doing stuff and things, and I dealt with little Microsoft.
I programmed.
I did Java, and then I learned JavaScript, and I might learn .NET, and I know how to do HTML.
So don't be afraid of like silence. Like, so it's probably mostly from phone interviews, because when you don't hear someone talking back to you on the other end, you kind of panic.
Right.
Like the panic, like, oh, it's silent.
Right.
Like, oh, they're waiting for me to continue talking. No. Like, say the point you're trying to make, say it well, and then pause, and then they'll probably ask you a follow-up question. It's like any
if they need to prompt for more info, they will.
So talk about something specific about what you actually did and what you actually know, and stop there. Like, you don't need to keep talking.
Oh no, and I mean that's a killer. Even just having conversations with folks at our events where it's okay. What do you do? Okay, well I do. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, no, really, what do you do? All right, well I do app dev. No, really, what do you do?
There's your job, and then there's what you do.
Right. We talk about that in the 10 Commandments of Networking, where initially when I was a sales guy, I would have to be a business development manager. I would have to be a global account manager. This I'm a sales guy. Like people can't come to grips with what you do in a 3-word,
I make.
What was the Flame War post in our LinkedIn group? Oh, the interview question of sell me this pen. Like that still exists.
Yes,
I couldn't believe that still exists.
Yeah, people just stop doing that.
Well, but I mean, it's and there's all.
I'd love to. What's the answer? Recruiting. What I mean, God help you if you answer. But I mean, if you were to ask, well, sell me this pen in an interview, what would you want to hear from someone? Because someone's going to hear it.
Hey, you need a pen? Because I got one.
I mean, honestly, if you're going from general rules, so marketing's pretty broad, right? So you want to talk about exactly what you have done. So you want to talk about exactly what pen you are selling does. Like, this pen has black ink. It shows up on X, Y, and Z cardstock, and this is why you should buy it.
That's feature and benefit sales. Though.
Well, but I mean, but that's where people fall down a lot.
Or you buy this pen, I'll be your best friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or no, you really wouldn't be interested.
I'll be honest with you. This pen, it's not really for you.
This pen isn't for you. This pen's more for people that really want to write.
You might want a pencil. You might want a pencil.
No, you know what? Honestly, I thought that through actually when this post came up, and I said, well, how the hell would I do it? I go, so basically it would be like, George, what are you writing with these days?
An empty
beer can.
No, but basically, it's, what are you writing with? Hey, what's it costing you? Hey, if you,
what's your pain point that this might solve?
Does it work?
Yeah,
was it work for what you're doing, or it doesn't?
Well, what else would you like to see?
Right, yeah. But I mean, I don't know how you in a row that doesn't translate at all. So anyway,
well, no, but I mean, it's
nice story, Bob.
Yeah. Cool story, bro. But I mean, that's where a lot of people do fall down when it comes to being able to translate, what's on their resume on a piece of paper in front of them to the actual real world project and what they did.
Right.
I mean, it's easy.
Yeah, a lot of people just interview bad.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and in some cases, that's where a good recruiter can help you.
Yep.
Because one of the things that a good recruiter should have when they're talking to you about a position that they want to possibly submit you on is they should understand what that job is, what the role is, maybe what the project is, and in doing that, help you relate what your experience is, or at least help you understand what. Sorry, what are you? Okay. Sorry.
Elise is moving her.
So I mean, my mic, but so you could so the candidate can better explain his experience in relation to what that project.
Do you give any points? I mean, you look at the IT industry and it's classically introverted, right? And these guys don't have they have the social skills of well, the social skills aren't great. So I mean, they're not going to articulate something as me and you would. Not saying I'm the best at that, but what I'm saying is, do you give them a little bit of benefit of the doubt and try to look more at what their work than how they talk about what they did? Does that make sense?
Well, but I mean, that should be part of the recruiter's gig. I mean, and that comes down to networking 101. I mean, it's you know, it gets back to that whole find someone you want to work with. And part of working with a recruiter in that capacity is helping to make sure they understand your resume. And part of that should be letting them help you do that translation.
But if the guy talks for crap, but he's a phenomenal coder, you know,
that happens a lot, actually.
Well, and that comes down to dealing with the client on that side and saying, look, I've got a complete and total closet case.
That makes your job that much harder.
But who's the Laszlo?
It does, but it's about having that understanding and whether that will work for that particular client. It might not. Why would you send that candidate in there?
Yeah, it makes your company look bad.
Right. Well, no, it's just bad for everybody. I mean, you think about it. You put a candidate in a situation like that where he totally...
Where they have to talk to people at their job.
And it doesn't work out. He loses it. It's not good. We'll start with his ego. He's not a happy camper. The client's not a happy camper. So why would you put somebody in that scenario when you know that's what you need? That's why you want to work with recruiters who are actually paying attention to what's going on, as opposed to recruiters who are just skill matching and throwing it against the wall and hoping it sticks.
Do you feel that there's a certain level of responsibility from a company like yours to bring that candidate out of their shell a little bit, to educate them, to help them along the way for their best interest and your best interest at all? To a point?
I think the nature of the people on our team is to, when we look for attributes, some of the attributes we look for are people who are nurturing or people who want to help others. You really can only accomplish so much in the role that we're in as recruiters.
Right.
But I think the nature of our organization, the nature of the people in our organization, are to help to the best that they can get in the circumstances that they're in.
Heck, we have a recruiter, Marin, who is amazing.
Yeah.
She is such a nurturing person. She helped a guy get relocated. He was a young guy right out of school, get relocated to Detroit for his job. She helped him find an apartment. She went with him to meet the realtor and helped him find a car in the area to set him up with the appointment.
She got an edible arrangements delivered to her office.
Yeah,
I hate those.
From his mother.
I hate
From
those.
his mother.
And now she has a stalker.
But she cared about him. She said, this is a guy
that is a true story, and I think that's where you can extend yourself to a certain extent. You can't solve everything.
She
That's
knew,
a good
though,
example
that he
where
was a
she
really
really
good
took care
guy.
of.
I was just going to say,
Who had really good skills that
she recognized that long-term talent
She saw
that was
something
worth the
in
effort.
him.
Right.
Well, and you can't save everyone from themselves. I mean, you know, we've had that conversation a million times, but when you do find that, you know, we've had the pet project conversation before, and actually Russ is a good example. I mean, Russ is a guy who, one of my pet projects right before he left, found Misty, Misty Mills. I don't know if you met her or not. Great Flash developer. She's, she runs the Ann Arbor Flash users group, does a lot of cool stuff. And she was just kind of in a holding pattern at her gig, and she was kind of a pet project of mine to help nurture along. It took the better part of a year. He found her a cool, great new gig through Brightwing. I mean, and that's what this is all about. That's the whole point.
What happened last week when we ran out of beer at 10 and we still have a 6-pack left?
You drink the ciders. You drink the ciders.
Is that why?
Yeah, you're not drinking. That's the problem.
Hey, give me another.
It's the Great Lakes Tech Showcase guy. I'm going to blame it all on him.
It
was all Scott.
Those mainframe guys.
That's right. He was just slamming it back left and right.
Infrastructure drinking.
I think I was more nervous. Like, go shit him on the radio.
Now we're just shaming Elisa drinking another woodchuck cider.
No, but that's good. I mean, it's good to know that. That's part of the whole process of Brightwing, or at least can be. I mean, and that is a good key differentiator in the area because, like I said, I mean, it is a conversation that comes up with people at our events. Why do I want to deal with a staffing company as opposed to, dealing with somebody direct? And the problem is you may not have that opportunity to deal with somebody direct because they've set up this relationship to handle that for them.
We could go on a tangent about those relationships and why they're in place and things that happen in those relationships.
Right.
But yeah, at the end of the day, if you really want to work on advancing your career, you want to work with a recruiter who's going to have as much interest in you as he does in filling a spot with the client.
Right, because to some degree they should almost be. They should almost be a mentor / coach for you, making sure
Life coach.
Making sure your resume doesn't suck, making sure you can be okay during the interview, making sure that they've coached the person on the other side as to what's coming at them when you walk in the room.
Well, that's why so many recruiters too, kind of when they retire, I've met so many that go on to career coaching and life coaching, and because they're passionate about helping people. I mean, you're not in this business if you don't really care about people and putting them in the right seat.
I mean, honestly, when I got laid off, I was lucky enough to be friends with a Brightwing recruiter, Matt Glynn. And I didn't.
Oh, yeah, we know
I
Matt.
didn't.
Oh, you know Matt too?
I didn't work. I hadn't worked.
And
with
we know
Matt Glynn.
Dina.
You guys,
Yeah. And we know we
They know everyone.
Your entire office has been infiltrated.
So I'm not a recruiter, and I worked with Matt Glynn. I sent him a LinkedIn message the day after I got laid off, and I told him what had happened and exactly what. And he said, "Hey, I'm going to call you." And he called me at. I'm not even kidding you. Matt Glynn called me at 9:30 the next day after I got laid off. And we talked for an hour.
Which is how it should be.
And granted, we were friends, but Macklin asked me, things that friends don't usually ask each other. He asked me about my professional history. He asked me about my resume, like anything that was on there, and like what he could help me with. And honestly, he wasn't even referring me to anything internal Brightwing. He was talking to me about anything external, like anything I heard about in marketing, anything with any of our clients that Brightwing had been talking about.
Well, and that's one of the cool things we found with a lot of the recruiters that come to our events, and this is like, one of the, honestly, I almost take it as a compliment, looking at the group that we've built, is there are so many folks that come to our events now that even if they don't have something in their sphere that they deal with for that person, they have no problem referring.
Sphere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, should I stick to 4 letters or less for you, Bob? Is that the problem?
Recruiters work in very many different industries.
Let's have some cool whip. But it's they do. They refer people to their competition.
Shoot guns.
That's right. How late's the German Gun Club open, Bob?
My ADD's kicked in.
No, they refer people to their competition. Because they want to do the right thing by the person, not necessarily by their company, and that's kind of a cool thing about the group that that core group that we've put together. That comes to our events all the time, and that you guys have become a part of. That's kind of a very cool thing, and it's good to know that it's not just 1 or 2 companies out there that are like that, and that's part of the message and part of the answer that we give people in those situations.
Thank you. No, and it is. It's critical in this industry because it's about referrals. It's about those networks. You were talking about networking before, but it's ongoing.
It's never fire and forget.
Yeah, you can't. Not in this business. There are people out there doing that. But to be really successful and really add value in this industry, it's not fire.
You have to actually.
We talk about all the time about lying and bridge burning. That you can't do that if you ever want to succeed.
You have to actually.
Well, and the flip side of that, there's people out there that actually like that they want to be placed somewhere and forgot about, but those are never the people that succeed, and those are the people that you wouldn't want to be part of your organization anyways in the long term.
All right. Yeah. All right, so sadly, we are actually at the end. So again, we are...
this is the end.
Exactly.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, absolutely. It was a ton of fun.
Thank you.
And we want people to go hit gobrightwing.com/jobs.
Yeah.
To see what's out there. Or just, no, it's not a backslash. Or just, poke around gobrightwing.com and see a little bit more about the company. We are at detroitnet.org or itandthed.com. Our next event is next Thursday night at the Blackfin in Royal Oak at 5:01 p.m. That's the 17th. Bob, do your thing.
That's it. IT and the D Show.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next week.
Flash! Don't move! Stay where you are!
Long live Flash! You've saved your life. Have a nice day.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
That's all, folks.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long way to go and a short time to get there. I'm eastbound, just like